Radiant team ban.
Hello and thank you for joining us. This is Game 2 of the Giantbomb Community Tournament 2014 between CSS and GUIDOS. And we're up to our first ban.
10 seconds
going to
remaining.
Radiant. And immediately Terrorblade has
Dire
been cast
team
away.
ban.
Terrorblade now available in Captain's Mode after 6.82. Those of you who have been watching the WCA tournament have noticed Cloud9 making great use of Terrorblade, especially against LGD. They just let him farm and off he went. And immediately Death Prophet in response.
Rated E for everyone.
Radiant team ban.
Sorry about that. And
Dire team
Faceless
ban.
Void is the next ban.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
First pick still hasn't been made yet by CSS.
Reserve
Going to
time.
Reserve time.
Shadow Shaman.
And Shadow Shaman's first.
Dire team
Shadow
pick.
Shaman, very good pushing.
Omni Knight.
And an Omni Knight in response, so both teams
Dire
making
team
sure they
pick.
grab the supports they want right away. Omni Knight, of course, very strong, 6.82. Makes me wonder if CSS is going to counter this pick by picking up someone with a Disable. And a Spectre again.
Radiant
GUIDOS
team
picked Spectre in the
pick.
first round. Was able to get into late game, I'm told. And really then do a bunch of damage. So if they really want to counter that Omni Knight pick, CSS needs to pick someone with a Disable or a Dispel. I believe someone like Invoker, his
Admiral
Tornadoes
Kunkka.
was able to dispel a bunch of Omni Knight's
Radiant
abilities. And they went with a
team
Kunkka.
ban.
Kunkka tanky in his own right. Very good during the lane phase thanks to that cleave of his.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And Tidehunter gets banned. Tidehunter picked in the
Dire
first
team
match.
ban.
Really helped with that AoE damage during game 1.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And Medusa is
Radiant
banned
team ban.
by GUIDOS. Immediately a Razor ban.
Dire team ban.
That was very quick to the trigger right there by Team Captain Dig of CSS.
10 seconds remaining.
Doom.
Dire team
Is,
pick.
the next ban for Dire.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Silencer.
And Silencer has been
Radiant
chosen by
team pick.
Team GUIDOS. Silencer actually my favorite hero in Dota. Very, very strong in the early laning phase, really able to harass very hard. And he can transition into a bit of a semi-carry role, of course. Or be maybe a 2 or a 3, especially because of his global silence. And noticing that most of the bans taking place
10
so far have
seconds
been
remaining.
against, with the exception of Tidehunter, have all been carries.
5 seconds
Suppose
remaining.
Death Prophet not as strong as a carry as all the other players.
Skywrath Mage.
And Skywrath Mage is
Dire
chosen.
team pick.
Skywrath Mage, like Silencer, has very low HP. However, Silencer you can sort of gear around that.
Zeus.
And Zeus is chosen immediately
Radiant
after.
team pick.
These last few picks are going really quick. I wonder if GUIDOS knows exactly what they want for the rest of this. Zeus actually getting some love in WCA last night. I believe it was in LGD versus VG. Zeus capable of making a bunch of kills, both through the global silence and just in general being in range with his chain lightning, really.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'm wondering if CSS at this point
Reserve time.
don't have much in terms of lockdown. Yes, they have Shadow Shamans. They have Shadow Shaman for that, and Ghost Ship can stun. But in terms of disabling the enemy team, there really doesn't seem to be much. Makes me wonder if they want to pick up an Earthshaker, perhaps, to help with just locking down heroes. Of course, then they need the damage to follow up on it.
Centaur War Runner.
There goes a carry.
Dire
Centaur
team
has some.
ban.
There goes more stun, just as I was talking about a couple seconds ago. Centaur, not the best late game player, but definitely good in the transition from mid to late game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
We're
remaining.
now at the last phase of bans.
Reserve time.
Morphling is the
Radiant
last ban
team
for
ban.
Dire. Team GUIDOS taking out one of the last two bans being on one of the more 3, I guess, if you include Medusa, have been very farm-heavy heroes. They really don't want CSS to be able to pick a hero that's great
10
for late game.
seconds remaining.
It kind of shows if you look at the draft right now. Only Spectre is
5
really the only
seconds
harder
remaining.
carry here. Makes me wonder if this is going to be a quick 30-minute game.
Reserve time. Dire team pick.
And Timbersaw is our very last band for this match. Of course, Team Guidos won their first game, so if they win this next one, they win the round. This best of 3, that is.
Viper.
And they go with Viper, another carry.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Juggernaut is the last hero chosen by Team CSS, also known as Can't See Shit Captain, versus Team Guidos. And there goes that carry that they need, though Juggernaut can sometimes be a good secondary carry, or he could be a hard carry. Based on this team composition, I suspect we'll be seeing a much harder Juggernaut carry. He'll be able to help with pushing as well with his healing totem. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup, actually.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And it looks like we might have a disconnect. Jumped right into a pause by Old King Cole. It would make sense considering Silencer was not chosen. Catchgaff in the chat, showing his support for Guidos. VGG Gaming doesn't think it's the best draft. Looks like there's going to be another disconnect from CSS. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the internet, it's not a perfect place yet, as is evident in WCA. With all the alleged distributed denial of service attacks. Should be a couple of moments, and once everyone's in the match, I'll be introducing the team. So just bear with us for a couple of seconds. Alright. And it seems that match is underway. Here he is. And this is the Giantbomb Community Tournament 2014. This is Game 2 of Team CSS versus GUIDOS. On the dire side, Team GUIDOS, we have Venaralia on Viper. We have Old King Cole on the Omni Knight. We have GZZ on the Support Silencer. And Zeus on the Demoli on the Spectre. And then Zeus will be played by Trickster. Down over on the Radiant side, we have underscore Ben AM. He'll be playing on the carry Juggernaut. N3 on support as the Skywrath Mage. And then we'll have stand-in Robo Executable as the Kunkka. We're going to have Dig going off lane on the Centaur Roar Runner. And it looks like we're going to have the Man with the Beard as the Shadow Shaman. And immediately we have a bit of an engagement in the dire jungle. Already we
30
see
seconds to battle.
a couple of offensive wards. They're trying to be dropped. Nope, just a sentry ward, so it looks like they'll be trying to capture any defensive observer wards placed in the Radiant jungle. And of course we have a ward here. We'll be able to capture the rune. And it looks like, looks like there's going to be no engagements in this pre-match sort of warm-up time.
The battle begins.
Most of Radiant is keeping to themselves, and already we see Shadow Shaman. Banner Rune was just picked up by the Spectre.
Illusion!
It looks like Viper's going to be sending an illusion down to the Radiant jungle, possibly as a quick distraction. Might have seen that ward being dropped. And immediately we see we have, this might be the exact kind of ward. Nope, just out of range. Observer wards that GUIDOS was trying to find. This is actually really clever. I'm fairly certain this will actually deny the creep spawn for the Radiant jungle. So we're going to be having a tri-lane on bottom for Radiant, and we'll have Kunkka mid going up against the Zeus. And then it's going to be Dig solo offline up against the Spectre, who will have some off support from the Silencer. Looks like he's just going to be slowing down his creep wave, as well as try and get a couple of kills. Silencer very squishy in this lane, in this phase of the game. Quick bit of warning shots from each other. Not too much in terms of actual initiation down on the bottom lane. And Trickster is pushing relatively hard in this mid lane right now. He's doing quite a bit of damage to Kunkka. Kunkka's not careful, especially if he manages to level up. And first blood goes to Kunkka, just barely. Is he going to survive?
And here come the shots.
And he manages to survive with just a little bit of health. He had less than 25. And immediately Zeus TPing back. That was a very, very close engagement. Meanwhile up top, there goes the harassment from Silencer, and this is what makes him so great in the early game phase. Silencer doing a great job zoning out a Dig. Looks like Shadow Shaman might be going for the bounty rune, unless he's going to try and hold it for someone else.
Fortunes change.
So, a couple of minutes in, already creep score of 16 on Juggernaut. Not too bad. Considering Viper surprisingly only has 1 at this phase. Considering he's raged, I figure he'd have more. And here's a quick engagement. Is it just going to be a warning shot? Looks like it. Nothing too serious yet. Dig already in the dire jungle notices the creep wave. Oh, and we see observer ward dropped here, so now he can catch pretty much everything they're doing at this point. And just a couple of warning shots. Dig's got to be careful. Silencer can really do quite a bit of damage. Won't be able to kill him. We'll definitely be able to set him up for a possible spectral dagger from Spectre, and that could lead to quite a bit of trouble over there. There goes the dot, finally on Viper. Very good for harassing in this phase of the game. doesn't seem to be affecting Ben's farm too much at this point. Standon already has his bottle at this point, so doing pretty well in this early lane, early mid lane so far. And looks like there's going to be a race to the bounty rune, or the regen rune. Nope. Looks like Zeus is backing off. Maybe decided against it. Maybe saw Kunkka go in. Uncertain.
Coin for me.
Silencer picking up the bounty rune. So it seems this silencer isn't going to be is going to be more of a support silencer.
Quick as shadow follows.
And Dig making a couple initiations on Spectre might actually be able to take him out, and nope, just a little too close to that tier 1 top tower. So relatively good engagement. That was some good damage put on Spectre. Definitely slow down. Definitely slow down. Not so much his farm, but sort of the sensation that it's safe for Spectre. Taking a hit on the torrent. Follows up the cleave, and looks like that's going to be it for now. Might want to deny that range creep, and chooses to avoid it. Kunkka manages to take it with the cleave. Ben AM almost already has the phase boots. We're less than 6 minutes in, and yeah, they're ready for when he's wants to go to the side shop. Viper not doing the best farm wise. Looks like he might be working towards the Ring of Aquila, maybe. Although he does have his Ring of Basilisk. Kunkka, despite more or less being able to win his lane in mid with little difficulty, doesn't really seem to be taking too much advantage of it. Yes, he's level 6, but so is Zeus. And Zeus is able to... hasn't really been sort of pushed into a corner in terms of picking the spots. Though Zeus did just pick up a double damage rune. Might want to take the opportunity to catch Kunkka off guard as Kunkka runs to the bounty rune. Nice little treat for him. Demolish has his Ring of Health. That's really going to help with his lane region. Silencer, just doing what Silencer does at this phase of the game. Doing a bunch of harass. Actually, it's going to be quite a bit of damage with that Spectral Dagger, though they opt to not chase him down. Might have been able to take him down, though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Silencer realizes the jig is up. Plants down the sentry ward, and there goes Dig's vision into the Dire jungle. Quick little skirmish. Shadow Shaman tried to lock him down, but for whatever reason it went away. Juggernaut tried to do a bit of damage. Ultimately, not the most useful engagement for Team CSS. Though there's still a bunch of harass going out towards Dig over on the off lane for Gradient. Seems to be okay despite all the harassment coming his way from Silencer. It's a creep score of 21, roughly, and has a couple of good items. Started to get his Tranquil Boots. His regen ring. Silencer doing an amazing job, it must be said, really slowing down his creep wave. That really helps keep things a little bit more riskier for Dig, since he'll be on the opposite side of the river, which is always means it's possible for him to be caught out of position in one way or another.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tri-lane so far seems to be relatively, well, very effective for CSS. Juggernaut with a creep score of 42 compared to Viper's 18. Viper just managed to finish that Ring of Aquila and only has 3 branches to go with it. Meanwhile, bracers are done, as well as a poor man's shield and phase boots on the Juggernaut. So he's getting quite the farm he needs at this phase in the game, though. So it seems to be going very well in this bottom lane with the escort for from N3 and Shadow Shaman. Though Kunkka's up here. Oh, those are just illusions. So might just be a little bit of vision for Dig. Oh, back mid, another hit with the Torrent. Kunkka might be going for this. I don't think he'll chase it too much. You gotta be careful. Now he's in a bad position. Though he does have 10 charges on his magic wand. Yep. Make sure to cash that in. Get that boost of health. That was not the best situation for Kunkka, especially when that tower started to hit on him. And Omni Knight is caught out of position. Viper has been locked down by the Shadow Shaman. There might be enough damage, but the power purification goes out, manages to heal Viper. That was some very good support work by Omni Knight. Very sticky situation for Viper. Unfortunately, Ben AM was not able to follow up on the lockdown and could not really.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going back to top lane, Spectre, doing very well, has a Vanguard, Orb of Venom, and Boots of Speed already. Creep score of roughly, let's do some quick math, 71. Go over here to last hits. And really doing a great job so far. Kunkka's the only one managing to beat Spectre. Juggernaut close behind relatively, only behind by about 10 or 16 or so. Zeus ult goes out. Unable to, looks like it didn't really do any damage. Must have been a call just to see where they were the position of the Radiant team over on the bottom lane. Worried about a possible gank. Here comes Silencer. He moved mid. He throws down his hit. This is really bad for Kunkka. Haunt comes out. And Kunkka might be able to survive this Haunt. Spectre opts to not jump in and wail on Kunkka. Ultimately a failed gank though. Kill did go out. They did manage to take down Zeus. However, Skywrath Mage has just been taken down. Spectre did opt to haunt bottom. Shadow Shaman's in trouble. He's really low in health. And down goes Shadow Shaman. Purification helped finish him off. And Ben AM's going to have to retreat for now that Spectre is helping down on the bottom lane. This is going to be a good opportunity to Viper to catch up on some farm as well. Ben AM not really going to be able to do too much with all the damage over just a couple of meters away.
My thanks.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dig taking the advantage with everyone on bottom lane to do a couple of hits on the top tower, though he doesn't have a lot of health. May want to get out of there relatively quickly. Not in danger of a Zeus ult.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And Glyph goes out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Should be okay, and he's managed to survive that. However, Kunkka noticeably is bot, and he is stealth, probably waiting for it to help lock someone down with a torrent. It looks like Spectre's going to be
Radiant's
TPing in
middle
top,
tower is under attack.
so I don't imagine they'll be able to take down Dig.
Denied.
Meanwhile, it looks like Shadow Shaman is rotated mid. Looks like they want him to get a bit of farm. He'll be going up against the Zeus. He's heading towards the illusion room. Might have been hoping for that. And then drop down a ward. And it looks like Kunkka managed to take down Omni Knight, and they're going to be following it up on the Viper. Viper is going to be going down from that, and it's a double kill by stand-in Robo. Very good initiation there. And it looks like
Dire's bottom tower
Team
is
CSS
under
is just dominating in the bottom tri-lane. Looks like that tri-lane really paid off. Meanwhile, Haunt goes out, probably just wants to find a location. Dig is in quite a bit of trouble. Zeus ult goes out, not enough follow-up damage. He'll be okay. So, Ben AM might want to be careful. Zeus may not be in the best shape right now, considering he was in mid lane, but Ben, not the tankiest hero of Juggernauts. And looks like that healing totem's about to amend that very same issue. However, Silencer has rotated. He drops the sentry ward. He's going to be taking down that observer ward. Wonder if he'll follow through it. Try and help Zeus. He might not want to, considering both of the carries on Team CSS are here. And an Omni Slash, Global Silence goes out, doesn't do anything, just too much damage. And an unstoppable killing streak for stand-in Robo. He's doing very good this game. And looks like Dig TP'd back to his base and allowing a bit of free farm to go for Spectre. Not sure what Spectre might be going for at this phase in the game, though. That's about 1,000 gold to play with. It looks like Dig is going to be helping a mid push. Looks like they might be going for tower. Yep, they're going to go for this tower. There goes the Serpent Wards. If they're not careful, Viper might be able to get quite a bit of gold from them. But that's going to be it for the tower. And
Dire's
there goes
middle
the
tower
glyph
has
reset
fallen.
for Team Guidos, of course, with 6.82 after taking down a tower. Tier 1 tower, glyph is reset. A little bit of damage done to N3. Able to cast a spell so it doesn't manage to disable him. Spectre is in quite a bit of trouble. Tamale is looking for him, and he might be able to get out of here. Though I think there are a bunch of pings going out. Ben doesn't see him. He was right there. Oh, Ben, if you just ran a couple of meters forward, you would have seen them. Meanwhile, mid, they're just trying to slow down the push. Serpent Ward's doing ample job keeping the creep wave at bay. And it's a Blink Dagger and 15 minutes in for Dig. That's going to be really great for their initiation.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like
Dire's structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, mid, we see a TP top. So Spectre's going to be joining in. Not too much damage to the tower, though. I don't see it lasting for much longer.
Radiant's bottom tower
Goes out
is under
for
attack.
And here comes a jump on Juggernaut. He battle pierce, and he's going to get out of there. There's a bit of initiation. Might not be the best move like Juggernaut. Dig is left to his own devices. They could have taken down the Viper, but oh, Dig's in trouble. There comes a reinforcements, and oh, here comes Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship manages a triple kill. Amazing play by Kunkka, standing with a great kill. Silencer with the global silence, unable to affect that outcome, and just a great counter by stand-in Robo. Juggernaut leaving Dig to his own devices, but then in comes a Ghost Ship, manages to take them out. Great play by Team CSS, and that's really going to help, especially taking down that Spectre. Who's going to be really strong come late game if they're not really able to get the kills on him. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a cooldown time. Zeus just hanging out top, might be trying to do a little defending, perhaps grant a little vision. Meanwhile, Spectre has rotated bot. Has Dig. The battle rages on between these two
Dire's
carries.
top tower is under attack.
Just jumping over to net worth to see that Kunkka's doing a fantastic
Dire's
job
top tower has
so
fallen.
far. Almost double that of Spectre. Top tower goes down, and it looks like they're not going to be pushing any further as they rotate bot, maybe to help Dig and Shadow Shaman. It's a good opportunity to take down Spectre if they're feeling ambitious. Only Omni Knight is there in support, and Silencer's global silence is not up, and there goes a Ghost Ship, but it doesn't hit anyone, and there goes the mini BKB from... Oh, look at that health. Omni Knight's health just went in half from that. Might have been a combination of a cleave plus
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
regen ring. It looks like there's going to be... Guidos are definitely going to defend this tower if they try and if Radiant tries and push. And there go the Serpent Wards. Ooh, that tower's going to melt down. Yep, and there it goes.
Dire's bottom tower has
Silencer
fallen.
in trouble. Dig catches him out. Saw the curse, the last word being cast, though. He's going to be recovering almost a full health thanks to Omni Knight. And it looks like Team Radiant is going to be backing off for now. However, Zeus, oh Zeus, you got to get out of there, buddy. And it would have been a disaster for him. He unwittingly manages to escape a potential gank. Over on top, though, we have Ben and Skywrath Mage. Looks like they're not going to be pushing too hard, just wanted a bit of that farm. And here they go running away through the dire jungle. And Kunkka breaking 10k farm, and Juggernaut just managed to pull ahead of Spectre. This is very, very good performance so far by CSS. And Mech is completed by Viper. That's definitely going to help with the team fight, especially this phase in the game. Mech doing quite a bit of health regen at first and then after the fact. And it looks like there's going to be a concentration mid. And Kunkka pops an invisibility rune. Looks like they might be trying to go for someone. Trying to see who's out of position at this phase. Doesn't look like anyone in particular. There was a global silence. Might have caught Spectre. Or sorry, might have caught Kunkka. Just got a little spooky, and that killed any initiation attempts. Though that silence is not going to be any use right now. Spectre just managed to do a bit of free farm while he has the opportunity. And it looks like they're going to be pushing a little harder. Shadow Shaman drawing a line on the minimap. Not entirely clear what that's for. And here comes an initiation. Just a warning shot, and it looks like they're just going to get a couple of free shots at this tower. And Silencer, Omni Knight, just backing off, and Dig going in with the stun. Doesn't know, he's in trouble. Hawk comes out, Ghost Ship goes out, manages to hit the Omni Knight and the Zeus. But Skywrath Mage goes down in the process, and it looks like Shadow Shaman's going to be following him. And there goes another kill for Team GUIDOS, and a third kill. Down goes Juggernaut. This was not a very good initiation for Team CSS, as Dig just tries to barely escape. Both him and Kunkka barely managed to make through that. Huge gold swing for Dire, especially for Zeus, who's not been having the best game so far.
Radiant's
and it looks
top
like they're going to try and
tower
take
is
this
under
opportunity
attack.
to push Team GUIDOS.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, Radiant pops a glyph, and it looks like Kunkka's going to be pushing back top lane. If we go over here real quick. Just a very poor initiation. Dig early on the trigger and just couldn't follow through.
Radiant's
Looks like the
middle
rest of the
tower
team wasn't
is
ready
under
on that
attack.
one. Looks like this is going to be a tier 1 tower for GUIDOS. Their first of the game. So, yep, they're going to let them have it.
Radiant's
That's
middle
3
tower
kills
has
and
fallen.
a tower for Team GUIDOS on that one engagement. And they're going to need plays like that if they want to really pick up the momentum and take control of this game. Looks like Shadow Shaman just trying to catch up. Just completed his mana boots. Might want to start working on his Blink Dagger if he feels for it. And Chrysalis is already completed by Kunkka. Just wow. Kunkka is just fed at this point. Just looking at his gold per minute. He's at 526. That's very good so far. Spectre a ways behind him with 380. Let's see if we just look at the gold swing here. You can see just the gradual, from the beginning of the game, the tri-lane really coming in handy as they eventually, up until that team fight they just lost, just momentum was really with Team CSS. I imagine XP is going to be similar, and just almost plummeted from that last team fight. But it looks like they're in the middle of grabbing a foothold again. Looks like Zeus is up top. He's going to try and do some catch-up farm. No catch-up Midas though, but looks like he's might be working on a BKB.
Lucky find.
And Spectre's just doing Spectre does and just trying to free farm as much as possible at this point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kunkka trying to make a bit of a push. Those illusions of his can crit now that he has a Daedalus, but that'll be short-lived. Looks like, does Kunkka see Zeus? Kunkka sees Zeus. Zeus is in trouble. A Ghost Ship goes out, followed by a Torrent. That's going to be a lot of damage on Trickster. Can he follow up? And there goes Zeus. Another death for Zeus. Silencer's trying to counter it. He throws out the last word. Manages to disable Zeus, but manages to disable Kunkka. Sorry, and he's going to make it. And just another death for Zeus. Zeus not having the best game so far, and we have an Omni Knight has disconnected. There'll probably be a pause, and yep, there it goes. So far, this early to mid-game, as we're approaching mid-game, CSS seem to be in control for the most part. However, that seems to be a recap of what happened in the last game. GUIDOS were able to take advantage of their late-game carries and a bunch of their AoE damage and really just turn around the game. But so far, 410 gold for Kunkka. That's really good for him. And it looks like Dig might be calling for a path. Might be pushing top tower, maybe. Most of the team is there. Only Shadow Shaman is bottom. And if it's uncontested, they could probably take down that tier 2 top at this point. And Shadow Shaman just TP top, will be able to join them in this push. But it looks like down in the jungle, will Viper see
Dire's
them? There's a
top
good
tower
defensive
is
board
under
right here, and
attack.
N3 sees it, and then the ping goes out. Viper's in quite a bit of trouble. There goes the slow. Last Global Silence goes out. That's going to kill the Initiate. Haunt comes out. Who is Spectre going to be taking over? Real quick. Manages to stun. Dig managed to stun Viper, and it looks like there's a bit of chaos as
Radiant's
Dig is
bottom
pulling back for now.
tower
Kunkka
is
throws
under
out the Ghost Ship, trying to catch
Dire's top
global
tower
DPS
is
from
under
the
attack.
Zeus. Spectre is chasing down the Kunkka. They want this Kunkka. That's going to be a huge bounty. That's 815 gold. Guardian Angel goes out for Omni Knight. And it looks like this is going to be another bad team fight for CSS. That's 3 down, and Shadow Shaman has been trapped, but it looks like he only managed to get the... Shadow Shaman managed to trap the Silencer. Silencer managed to do a last word and Curse of the Silent, and that's going to be it for Shadow Shaman. N3 is getting out of there. It looks like he might be able to survive. Yes, he has a Tango. He should be able to survive, and that's going to be a Radiance for Spectre. Wow. That is exactly the team fight Guidos needed. Team Radiant, CSS caught way out of position, and 3,000 gold. That's a 4,000 gold upswing, if we see here in the chart, to be reflected right here. Just a huge drop after that. And Team Guidos, they're back in this game. And ping's going out. And this is going to be a great opportunity for Guidos to get some farm. That's really, especially for Zeus, who has not had the best game so far. Here he is back in lane. It looks like he's working for an Aghanim, sorry, not a BKB, and that's really going to help his damage output. And now that Damali has the Radiance, Damali's going to be doing a bunch of damage, and this is really going to help their team fight potential. And just like that, the scores are even, relatively 11-10, and it looks like we're going to be seeing Kunkka. Is he just going to go for a tower deny? Nope. He looks like he's going to be trying to defend this. Ghost Ship goes out, as does the X marks the spot. Torrent manages to catch Damali. Damali gets hit, but Omni Knight manages to cast a Repel. And it looks like this is going to be counter-initiate, and Kunkka Shadow Blades out of that, recognizes he's in trouble and won't be able to get the gank. Meanwhile, Dig and the rest of the team is going to be pushing up into the mid lane, and it looks like a defense is being
Radiant's
called out by
bottom
Team
tower
Guidos.
is
They don't want
under
to lose this
attack.
mid tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And
Dire's
Flip goes
structures
out.
are fortified.
Not sure there's going to be enough reaction time for Team Guidos to be able to take them down.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And Radiant just lost their
Dire's
first tower
middle
bot.
tower has
Or
fallen.
second tower, apologies. Last word goes out. Looks like he might be able to, yep, he's going to be able to disable the Juggernaut, but that's okay at this phase. Spectre, meanwhile, rotated top. Spectre just wants to farm, and that's exactly what Spectre's going to do. Notice, look at Spectre's GPM. It has more or less caught up to Kunkka at this point. And the rest of the Radiant knows this, and they're going to be going in for a gank. They want to get that Spectre, and Spectre knows the jig is up. And
Radiant's
Dig
top
manages to
tower
capture the
is under
Spectre, manages to
attack.
cast his ult. Out comes the Silence. Global Silence comes out trying to counter-initiate. Spectre might be able to make this out with a 12% speed bonus from the Spectral Dagger, and he's hiding right now. And out comes a Haunt. Is there going to be a counter-initiate? Juggernaut. Oh, Haunt goes out. Look at the goal. Oh, the Zeus ult manages a double kill. As with a double kill with Spectre, and there goes 4 again. And just like that, Team Guidos are now pulled ahead in kills in this match. That was a great counter-initiate. What a gank that just went terribly wrong for Guidos. And that's 3 gank attempts in a row that just went bad for them. And XP, and it looks like gold at this point. Gold is just about even, but XP is now heavily in favor of, well, not heavily, but quite a bit in favor of Team Guidos. And we're approaching this time where, as Spectre continues to get more
Radiant's
and
top tower is under
more and more
attack.
gold, it's going to get
Radiant's
harder and harder for Team
structures are
CSS.
fortified.
It looks like this is going to be the tier 2 top, or tier 1 top. Juggernaut jumping in
Radiant's
alone, it
top
looks like, and
tower
he's
is
in
fallen.
trouble. N3 tries to help him out. Out goes the Skyflare. Here comes the Shadow Shaman. Dig pops the ult. Ghost Ship goes out. Damali just got hit by relatively hard, but then goes Guardian Angel, and that's going to be really bad for Team CSS. Shadow Shaman's going to pull back for now. And Kunkka's in a bunch of trouble. He tried to stop, but he was caught. And that's going to be it for Dig. Dig is not going to be able to survive that, and that's 2 intellects stolen. And just another great push by Team Guidos. This is exactly what they needed. This game more or less turned
Radiant's
completely in
top
their
tower
favor when
is under
Spectre got the Radiance. And that's going to be tier 2 top at this point. Quick recap shows us Just more gold for Zeus. Zeus is more or less catching up at this
Radiant
point. He has his
structures are
axe.
fortified.
He's got 1,700 gold. Had a very rough start earlier in the game,
Radiant's top tower
but
is
more or
under
less
attack.
things are back in his favor.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
It looks like Kunkka tried to do a ghost ship, which is just out of range of my camera, and he's going to be backing off for now. Spectral Dagger goes out, as does the last word. There goes tier 2
Radiant's
top.
top tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Juggernaut, it looks like he's going to be trying to chase Omni Knight. Out go the drums. He has his Omni Slash ready, and he's going to be backing off for now. Might have realized that there was going to be help for him, though it is Silencer. He should be able to Omni Slash and take out.
I'm out of here.
And Ben-Am's just going to call up for now. Reinforcements have come with Spectre, Viper, and Zeus, and they're backing off. So far, very rough start by Team Guidos, but they were able to turn it around once they managed to get their Spectre the right amount of farm. Meanwhile, Dig hasn't really been able to do too much ever since he got his Blink Dagger about 13 minutes ago. And Kunkka's just going to keep farming at this point. Ping goes out for Roche. Looks like Juggernaut's the one that called for it. So Juggernaut's got to be careful. The Silencer's right here. Managed to drop a very good offensive ward in the Radiant jungle. And is there going to be a Roche contention? Because it looks like they're going to be pushing for Roche as well. Mantis Idol just completed by Spectre, so Spectre just gets stronger and stronger. And this Roche is going to go down relatively slowly, though Silencer and Omni Knight are ready to offer any vision or support. And is there going to be a smoke gank here? Maybe. I believe it was Skyrath Mage who was drawing in the Radiant jungle, almost close to completing his mech. But this Roche looks like it's going to be uncontested so far. They see Kunkka, or at least they should, with the Observer Ward. And it looks like Spectre's going to be the one intended to be picking up this Aegis. Ping goes out again and popping a couple of dusts just to make sure no one's trying to hide. And a Haunt goes out because they want to know where Team Radiant is. And there goes 3! Zeus ult, followed by a Haunt with Radiance. And that is a triple kill for Spectre. 4! It looks like they also managed to get... Looks like Shadow Shaman was the last person to die, and Spectre reaping the rewards, and there goes Roshan.
To the dire.
And this is looking very bad for Team Guidos. Or very good for Team Guidos, very bad for Team CSS. This being a best of 3, this is the last game needed for Team Guidos to be able to win the round. And they just keep farming. Looks like they might be taking the opportunity to push for tier 2 mid as well. However, most of Team CSS is up, but they're calling for a defense of the top tower.
Dire's top
Just
tower
creep so
is
far.
under attack.
Purification!
Spectre going solo on her own. Her own? Spectre's a girl, I believe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It looks like there's just going to be a couple of pot shots towards the tower, and they're going to be rotating top to push out that lane. And Spectre on the chart, on top of the chart with GPM, going over the XP. Managed to get top as well.
Time!
And it's not looking too good for CSS. They don't have... Guidos definitely have the better late game draft between Spectre and Viper. And even
Radiant's
Silencer to a
bottom
degree.
tower is under attack.
And Silencer, or Spectre, is making a couple of pop shots at that tier 2 bottom. It looks like there's going to be a rotation to try and defend it. And they're bailing out so far. And it looks like Silencer and Omni Knight just taking the opportunity, now that they more or less are asserting map control, to get some farm up. Zeus as well, who is more or less recovered from his rough early game, is pushing in tier 2 top lane rather. And Kunkka relatively close to the Spectre though. Looks like they're not going to engage each other. Tamale just devouring the Radiant jungle. While the rest of his team manages to farm his team's jungle. And this ward, you know exactly where CSS is thanks to this ward. Hence Spectre being able to more or less free farm the Radiant jungle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bit of a slow intermission between the team fights, it seems. Maybe Dig trying to work out what he and his team can do at this point now that Spectre is more or less not quite 6-slotted, but doing very well farm-wise, mana style and Radiance. It looks like there's going to be a contention for tier 2 mid. Silencer and Zeus making their way around. And Alka's the last word. Alka might want to get rid of it, otherwise he'll be disabled for a couple of seconds.
Healing shot.
Heal out on Viper, that would just help their push a little bit. Meanwhile, Spectre is just pushing the bottom lane on his own. Molly, that is.
Radiant's
Be making
middle
a couple more
tower
pots
is under
tier 2 mid.
attack.
Dig wants to stun them, wants to blink in and stun. Just needs the right opportunity for the rest of his team. Juggernaut is all the way back at his base. If they're not careful, they're gonna lose 2 towers here. Out goes a Haunt. Meanwhile, Zeusol manages to rip apart Shadow Shaman, and there goes Skywrath Mage and Shadow Shaman, and Kunkka quickly follows right after that.
Tower is under attack.
Only ones to survive are Dig and Juggernaut, just utterly destroyed right there from that Zeus ult, and followed by a Haunt. Just a lot of global damage. And there goes the GG! Dig throws in the towel. And there you have it, Team GUIDOS. 2 for 2 in this best of 3 affair. Once again, just like the first game, very strong, very promising start for Team CSS. And a little gamesmanship from Silencer right there, asking everyone to report the Zeus, who did not have the best game, as I said many times. And there you go. Team GUIDOS manages to take over both games. They get a clean sheet, I guess you could say. And CSS lost 2 games in a row after being more or less in control. That trialing really was paying off dividends, as was Kunkka mid. But that's it. So thank you everyone for watching. This concludes the CSS versus GUIDOS best of 3. This is game 2. Thank you and have a good night.